Listen, we all make mistakes. We go through periods where we focus on the wrong things and we pursue our goals teetering on the edge. And during these moments, we lose our way. We're not the partner or friend we used to be. We kid ourselves because nothing seems worth it. I guess the most common time that we feel lost is in our 20s. But honestly, this can happen in our 30s, 40s, and even later on in life. Usually we've been living in the comfort of structure, and therefore it feels decided. Nothing's exciting anymore. There's no anticipation of something new. First, it's important to recognize that nobody has it figured out. On the surface, we all want to appear that we know what we are doing. But it's somewhat of a front, which gives everyone this false sense that everyone has it all together. The causes of feeling lost in life can vary from person to person. Some of us may feel this way because we're not living up to the expectations we've set ourselves, or the expectations that are placed upon us. Or maybe even it's because we've lost sight of what's important to us. I remember the first time I felt lost. I thought that I should have this overarching purpose or this goal that should define me. The truth is, what I was asking myself is that what should I be doing with my life that is important? I've experienced moments in time where it's just a blur. The last couple years have just whizzed by and you're thinking, why did I bother? Why did I try? If life is just a treadmill, what's there to get excited about? And one of the things my dad instilled in me was work ethic. In my younger days, he would be tough on me, and at the time I would think to myself, give me a break. Little did I know this was just a training for the realities of life. I already knew automatically that certain doors would be slammed in my face, and in a sense it was getting me ready for rejection, because at the end of the day, competition is fierce no matter what you do. Last year I started a new job. Hundreds of people applied, and for those who received a no, I guess it sucked, and it did for me too when I had been rejected in the past. And before this particular offer, I had put in so much effort into answering all the questions, going through all the interview stages. I was willing to go through the struggle, which leads me on to the question you should be really asking yourself. I used to paint and draw, and I would sit there for hours by myself, not because I wanted to do it as a profession or something, but it was merely because I enjoyed it. Life sometimes takes over, and its responsibilities cast a shadow over its importance. The transactional nature of the world doesn't really encourage you to keep on doing things that have no financial reward. And if you keep something dormant enough, something that you enjoy, it will eventually start knocking on the door of your mind. Your true self will want to be noticed and honoured, and by that time, your life has already diverged from your heart's desires, and that knocking may manifest louder as feeling lost in life. For me, I need to do something creative. It was a burning desire that I had stopped doing for years, and honestly, it only took up until recently for me to step back and really be honest with myself. I had to decide what was worth struggling for. Before someone gets good at something, there will be a time where you will be awful at it, and the process is going to have to be repeated. A lot of people try to skip this process and rush to the finish line. When I started learning a new language, there were moments where I knew I wasn't speaking perfectly formed sentences, and I would almost see a little twinge in their face. It was embarrassing. And to the listener, they're not trying to embarrass you further, they're just trying to understand you. But you can't help but feel stupid, and we need to get over this ego. But most people are not willing to bear being embarrassed. Even if it's just for a little while. Most people will avoid it. And you probably could say it comes down to just being vulnerable. And with some people, you're not necessarily lost. You know exactly what you would try if you could fast forward the embarrassment phase. There has been something that your younger self would want you to do. You've probably even got it in the back of your mind and you think about it from time to time, or you regret not continuing it. It's the thing you daydream about and wonder what your life would be like, but yet you don't take any action. What's your excuse? Maybe you're thinking it's too late. Maybe you're too old. Maybe you don't have the time. All of these are excuses, and you're only deceiving yourself, as my dad would tell me if I did something wrong. Doing things out of character or making a change means facing yourself. In a sense, cut the crap and embrace the embarrassment. Feeling foolish is part of the game. Like I said before, everybody wants to appear smarter and a more well-rounded individual. It's like we have this imposter syndrome before we've attempted our desired goal. Life becomes worthwhile when you have worthwhile goals. Either you have a goal that's important enough, or you're not using your talents and your efforts towards something. Feeling lost is actually a good thing at times. It lets you know something is not right. It's the person who feels like they have no purpose who thinks pessimistically. It's the person who doesn't think they have a goal worth working for. It's the person who deems their job unimportant and complains that there's nothing to do. And in order to look within ourselves and see what we're made of, we essentially need to glance at the negative, but focus on the positives. If you've got a car, there's all these sensors to let you know if something is majorly wrong. And from time to time, that light may flash up on the dashboard. If you ignore it too long, you'll probably run your car into the ground. You need to deal with those warnings as they pop up, to make sure you can keep your eyes on the road ahead. We could utilize this way of thinking when we're feeling lost. It can help us recognize the feeling for what it is, something undesirable, something we don't want, something that does not bring us true genuine happiness. When you're feeling lost in life, it can be overcome by identifying 1 or 2 principles or goals. These values should dictate your priorities and actions. The journey for one's purpose is not necessarily about achieving greatness, but rather about spending what limited time we do have in a meaningful manner. This requires not just being an observer to life, but actively participating. You almost need to set yourself a goal that scares you, that feels way too big. It's excitingly unachievable, and the journey towards it will serve as a compass for purpose.